Hello everybody, it's EzraTime here, and today I think I want to talk about the FNAF movie, because I'll be honest, I am excited to watch the FNAF movie because I've been waiting for to watch or like to see the FNAF movie for such a long time at this point, like since 2015, where I thought that, well, back in the day where FNAF was like so popular, right? And then a lot of people like making a fan made movie for FNAF. I think the most famous one for me is the FNAF the musical. Even though, like, yeah, it's an adaptation for the plot, but it's just like different with Markiplier, obviously. Which is awesome. Sometimes I rewatch them. They're fun. They're still fun to watch, obviously. And then I find out that, oh, apparently there's gonna be official movie made by Warner Brothers that obviously fell through, and then Blumhouse took over, and then they announced Chris Columbus as the director. That also fell over, and then now we finally got a new director, obviously Emma Tammy before, and yeah, we finally get the first look for the new FNAF movie, and then it's this image right here, um, which is basically obviously the Freddy Fazbear Pizza, and then with Freddy there presumably, and then I think this character might be Abby, played by Piper Rubio, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I know there is this theory that maybe Abby is gonna be the new version of, like, Elizabeth, which I also think that also might be the case. I think we might seeing Abby here with Freddy, and some people said that this is not exactly Freddy, but it's actually Golden Freddy, which I think it's Freddy, man. I mean, it's brown, not golden, right? But at the same time, I can see why people think this is Golden Freddy, but I don't think it's Golden Freddy. I think it might be, Freddy Fazbear himself. And obviously, the movie got a release date, which is October 27, 2023, which is like, wow, a couple months away, which is like unexpected for me. And then also unexpected is actually the movie will be released on theaters and then on Peacock, which is on streaming, and the same day, which is like bizarre to me because I thought that we were over that kind of like release that like, oh, like theaters release, and then you got the live streaming, like the streaming release, and now it's like it's both again, kind of like Halloween Ends, like Blumhouse treat that movie the same way, that just like, yeah, like release the movie on theaters and then on streaming at the same time. And to me, that, I mean, the positive part about that kind of style of like releasing movies is that, well, if I watch the movie on theaters and then I love it, I could just go back, and then just watch it again on my home, and I don't have to wait, like, I don't know, like 2 months to wait for the release date, like the official like Blu-ray release. You could just go to streaming and then you could watch it again. Like, that's the positive part for me, but there is a lot of like concern about, because when this movie was released for streaming on Peacock, because again, first of all, the budget might be small, right? Because it's Blumhouse, so like they do everything in small budget, but who knows how small the budget looks. I'm really hoping that it doesn't have the level of, like, the what is it, like the Banana Split movie, I think, which is also released by Warner Brothers, which I think might be from the fail FNAF movie that obviously failed to release back in the day, maybe. Like, I'm really hoping that this movie right here doesn't look like that, because, like, again, from the poster that we've seen, it doesn't seem that way, and I'm really hoping that the pizzeria is actually looking good, actually looking quite good, because we have no idea. And then we see the building, we've seen the building in behind the scene clearly, but we never actually went inside the building, so we have no idea what's the inside of the pizzeria. And I'm really hoping that it looks identical to the game, but also stand on its own, maybe, and also doesn't look like super cheap, hopefully. And of course, the second one is that maybe Blumhouse was not confident that this movie will make enough money, or like people will like this movie enough, and that's like, that will be suck, man, because like, I, like everybody else, I was waiting to see the FNAF movie for such a long time, and I really want this movie to be succeeded, I really want this movie to be good movie, because we waited for so long, and I feel like this waiting needs to be worth it, because like, what's the point? We wait like 8 years, and then suddenly the movie released, and then people hate it, because it's not good, like, and because it was releasing on streaming, that thought does come across my mind that, well, look at Halloween Ends, like that movie both released on, theaters and streaming, and I know people will probably say that, well, maybe they just did it to boost the subscriber for Peacock, which, yeah, I think that's the case, but at the same time, they could really do anything besides, this movie, but the fact that they choose FNAF movie to be releasing on streaming and theaters at the same time, I feel like it speaks volume to me. that the movie might not be as good as they thought it would be, and they're not really confident about it, and that's why they decided to release this on streaming. Maybe, I don't know. I'm really hoping they decide to do this just to boost the subscriber on Peacock, but at the same time, there's also that scenario that maybe they're not really confident about the FNAF movie. I'm pretty sure the FNAF hardcore fans might love this movie, but like people who are like generally wanted to watch a good horror movie, then maybe they're not gonna like it. I have no idea. Again, I'm just speaking this based on how they release the stuff. I know that that's ridiculous to some people, but I don't know, man. Like releasing both movies in streaming and theaters is like it's old at this point. Like there was like back in the COVID era, right? But now it's like I don't know, man. Like I don't think we need to do that anymore again. So I don't know, man. I'm really hoping that the movie is good. So like the best scenario again, the movie is actually good, and then and then I could just go home and then watch it again on Peacock, and then just like you know just watch it again. Like I don't have to wait another 2 months to watch the movie, and I think that will be the best scenario if the movie is good. But again, based on the first look of this movie, it looks amazing in my opinion. I really cannot wait to see the animatronic in motion, and to see how they are attacking Mike, maybe, because we know that we have some amazing cast, like Josh Hutcherson and Matthew Lillard as, Mike Smith and William Afton, and again, Matthew Lillard is an amazing actor, you might know him from Scream, obviously, and yeah, I'm really curious to see what's gonna be his take on William Afton, and obviously, Josh Hutcherson's take on Mike Smith character, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a tie into the past, obviously, that Mike is actually William Afton's son, because that's how it is in the game, and Abby might be related to Elizabeth, or maybe maybe she is Elizabeth, but maybe they decide to change the name and just only the name, maybe. I have no idea, because I think that might be the case, they just like changing the name, but it's still gonna be like Elizabeth kind of role, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I'm really curious to see if we're gonna see Golden Freddy in this movie, because I feel like people make a theory that based on the set photos that they look, apparently there's gonna be two timeline in this movie, that we're gonna go to the 90s and then we're gonna go back to the 70s or like the 80s possibly, because the picture is like looking kind of older in some of the photo, and then like the other one is actually brand new. So it's like, okay, are we gonna get a flashback between Fredbear and Spring Bonnie? That would be cool, to see the early version of them, because obviously it's gonna lead to the third movie. And again, the reason why I'm excited to see this movie is because the plot for this movie is actually based on the first game. Like, sure, they might include some element from the future game, but it's not gonna be that ridiculous, because it's the first movie. And I heard that Scott Cawthon want to make this into a trilogy, and Matthew Lillard does reveal in an interview that he does sign 3-picture deal with Universal and Blumhouse for this movie. So we are getting a FNAF trilogy if this first one was successful, and I'm really hoping the first one was successful enough so we can get the second and the third one, because I really cannot wait to see their interpretation of like the toy animatronics, with the second pizzeria from the second game. That would be dope to see, seeing like Balloon Boy again, right? And then to see the Wither animatronics, how mangled they are, and obviously I cannot wait to see FNAF 3 in movie form, because I feel like that will be the best narrative ever, because in the third movie, obviously, you're gonna have Mike and William like really facing each other side by side, and it's about father versus son kind of story, and I think that will be epic in my opinion. And I think that's what Scott Cawthon said, that FNAF 1 is gonna be based on the first game, FNAF 2 is based on the second game, FNAF 3 is based on the third game, and to me that's perfect, because even if you see the original game, yeah, the first 3 games really felt like a complete trilogy, at least for me, like this. Until FNAF 4, they decided to like introduce a bunch of new stuff that we have no idea what's going on, and at this point we still kind of go back to FNAF 4 to figure some stuff out, but the first 3 of the FNAF game feel like a standalone like lore in my opinion, even though they are connected in the bigger picture. But to me, they still felt like a standalone lore because they're not that complicated, they're quite easy to solve, I guess, and then they are interesting, they are fun, and I think they will be making they will make a great trilogy of movies, and I'm really hoping that actually happens, because I really cannot wait to see Springtrap on a big screen, it's gonna be amazing. And I'm really curious to see if the animatronic has a voice, because I don't think they announced the voice for the animatronics, so maybe they're not gonna have a voice, unlike in the games, but who knows, I'm really hoping that Springtrap will have a voice, because it's William Afton, so you need to have a voice, in my opinion at least. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts about the FNAF first look and then releasing on streaming. Obviously, those two topics, again, really excited to see this movie on October 27. You guys can look out for my reaction for the trailer, obviously, and then obviously the review when I finally watch the movie. I think I'm gonna watch this movie on theaters, and then obviously I'm really hoping that the movie is good so I can like go back to watch it again at home. That would be amazing. But we'll see. I keep my mind open, and I'm really hoping that this movie is actually an objectively good first Five Nights at Freddy's movie because I've been waiting for 8 years. So I'm really really hoping that it's worth it. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the video for today. And if you guys enjoyed, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, usual stuff. And yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoy this video and stay tuned for more videos in the future. And I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.